Hey, yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Whew, how's everybody feeling? Let's see. That was just killing some time with some music while waiting for things to set up. But um, if y'all are interested, that's a YouTube channel that's pretty good. Uh, Coach Trillino Deep. They usually have like music mixes and stuff when I'm killing time and want some background music. Let me put a link in the chat for anybody who wants to find that mix. But yeah, Kenny's joining us. Just let me hurry up and invite him. That's not a corona cough. That's a cough from my drink going down the wrong pipe. But give me a second. Let me just get Kenny up in here. But have y'all been following this Andrew Gillum stuff? Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Let's see. Sly said that's what they all say. Yeah, you know, it's true. I'm lying. I got the Rona. Got the Rona. Hold on. Yeah, man. But who's up in here? What's going on? Oh, young Stokely, how's it going? Said Tariq was killing him the other night. Yeah, man. I mean, it's messy. You know what's crazy about this Andrew Gillum stuff, right? Now, you know, I'm not a heartless person. You know, things happen, but I said on Twitter, I said, you know what? How do you think they're gonna blame straight black men for this? Because there is this stuff going on where they have to keep finding a way to blame straight black men. But you know, I was saying it kind of tongue in cheek. I was like, I mean, it might happen. I'm never gonna rule it out, but you know, it's probably not really gonna happen. But you know, sure enough, they started coming in and saying that straight black men forced put Andrew Gillum in this position, you know, with their homophobia, so he couldn't be free to come out and you know be at the closet. But I'm gonna say even this, even if that was true, say straight black men and their crazy homophobia. Yes, yes, yes. Here's Ken. What's going on, man?
What's cracking?
Oh man, nothing much, man. You came in just in time. You came in
I heard
just
what
in.
you was just. What did you just say? This I could hear you, but I came in like mid sentence.
Yeah, yeah. That's fine. I was just killing time. I was setting Andrew Gillum. You know the mess that he's in, and I was saying that I was making a joke on Twitter about how long before they start blaming black men, straight
Oh,
black men for Andrew Gillum's mess, but I said it was semi tongue in cheek. You know, I didn't think it was really gonna happen. But then a couple of days later, someone really said that.
are you for real?
Yeah, this is straight black men's homophobia drove Andrew Gillum to do this. And what I was saying is like, even if let's say worst case scenario that it was true that we were so homophobic, we made him do whatever. How did the homophobia? He could have been closeted gay and not been with the white male escort in a hotel room doing meth. Like where does all the extra steps? Yeah, where does all the extra steps of the meth of some white escort? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of closeted gay people. They'll be in regular consensual, you know, square ass gay relationships closeted. You know what I'm saying? Like all
In
the
other words, what
extra
they're
stuff.
saying in other words, what they're saying is straight black men drive you to being gay.
Well, no, not just that. Not just being gay, but being gay in the most stereotypically depraved way possible. Because
Yeah,
it's
that's
a bunch of
bullshit.
yeah, a bunch of
Yeah,
stereotypes like the meth and all the extra stuff. You know, like so it's like you said. First, that you know they drive you to being gay, or or at
drove you
very
to
least,
smoking dope too. Now you're on meth.
yeah. Now you're doing meth now, So it's like,
None of that makes any sense. But this is, oh my god. But this is the thing. Every excuse beats none. You know what I'm saying? If you have an excuse,
yeah,
that's better than not having any. So what is the excuse for you living this depraved lifestyle? And I'm not saying because you're gay you live a depraved lifestyle, but doing meth in a fucking hotel room with an escort
CD, yeah, CD
is a
hotel
depraved
room,
lifestyle. Yeah.
being passed out. Yeah, that's a depraved lifestyle if you're
Yeah.
straight. That's just a depraved.
Because all gay people don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of straight people do. Like, if he was straight and he was caught with a white female escort, passed out drunk, and with bags of meth, no one would
Yeah.
be
We
saying,
blame
"Hey,
black women for that?
yeah, exactly." His black wife was nagging him too hard, so he had to
Right.
go and get a white escort and do meth with her and get passed out.
Yeah, no.
None of it makes.
That doesn't even make any logical sense. And the simple fact that you can predict stuff like that's hilarious. That's the funny stuff. That's how you know
Yeah.
how full of shit these people are when you can predict the bullshit that they're gonna say.
Yeah, and like I said, I was saying it semi tongue in cheek, but not even fully, because there was a part of me that was like, don't don't write it off. It could still happen. But yeah, sure enough, they found a way. But it's crazy. The girl that was saying that, right? I looked in her old tweets, right? And I searched SD said his political career was over. He had to do something to salvage it. But no, this wasn't him saying it. It was just regular people out, on social media, who were trying to say this, trying to change the goalpost. Thankfully, he himself was too smart to say that. He just said that he said he had to go to rehab and he was an alcoholic and gave some stuff. But did you see the leaked pictures, Ken?
Yeah, I seen them. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There was one that I thought was maybe photoshopped. It was him naked
Yeah.
with some white guy's feet in the picture and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and he was passed out and with puke next to him and stuff. And what I was thinking, right? He's got that Malia Obama thing going on, because Malia Obama keeps partying with these white people that he thinks that she thinks are her friends, and they keep leaking pictures to the press of her smoking weed or
Oh yeah.
drinking or grinding on some guy and stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And people were saying, "Yo, Malia, these white kids aren't your friends. They keep snitching on you all the time. Every time she does anything,
Yeah, but even if she was hanging around in Buckhead, Atlanta, they'd be taking pictures of her and snitching on her. It's because she's Barack
maybe
Obama's daughter.
that is true. I mean, there
That's
is
really
that.
the gist of it. They want to know. It's like they wanted those kids, and I don't know those kids. Hell, I don't know Barack Obama. Shit. But those kids, they want those kids to be celebrities. And honestly, I can't, since Barack Obama ain't been president, I don't know if I've heard his kids say anything,
I haven't
whether it
seen
be
him
social
say.
media,
I haven't seen
TV,
him say anything.
anywhere.
I'm gonna say this: if she was with like some bougie black people, like in Howard and stuff, they might not have taken the pictures, because I think they're a little more sensitive to that stuff. Hopefully, I don't know if things have changed, because with this
Well,
influencer
she would
era.
never go, but she would be never going to be at the status that she's at, based on her family. She would never be going to Howard anyway. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
she
Like that,
wouldn't.
yeah.
But what I'm
That's not
saying is,
happening.
like, to me, I feel like if she was with the Jack and Jill types, they wouldn't be snitching on her like that. I think because they don't want to be looking like they're getting down
Oh
like that
yeah,
either.
because they need something from her.
Yeah, exactly.
White people don't need anything from her. Those bougie black people would need something from her. They're gonna need a job or something, some kind of way they can get next to her dad or her mom and write a
Yep.
book, or you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be some type of leech type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the
So
same, but in a roundabout way, in a different kind of way.
yeah. So even if it's not for the best of reasons, I think she would have been safer around well-to-do black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where not so much even because it's so much more magnanimous or whatever, but Terry Hines said Dave Chappelle has a joke about that. Can't pass out around white boys. That's mad true, man. Because I'm
No,
telling
that's
you,
true.
they have a really weird homoerotic sense of humor,
Yo,
man.
look, I wish Mario was here because Mario plays sports. Yeah, bro. If you, especially in sports like football, yeah, dude, white dudes do some really weird shit.
Yeah.
And what you'll notice is, I play baseball too, so same thing with baseball. Like they just do really weird shit when there's no parental advisory around.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And for some reason, it always
black
veers
dudes
to
always click
homoerotic.
up. The black dudes
Yeah.
click up on the teams because the white dudes be doing some really weird shit. Like you could be you could be in the locker room, walk in the locker room, and all of a sudden you see a bunch of white dudes chasing each other with towels. You're like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, dude, there was one white guy in my high school where his idea of a joke was he would try to grab your balls. He would grab everybody's balls.
Yeah, like what? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, yeah. And then he did it to one black dude, and the black dude laid him out. He was like, "What are you doing? You know, like stop playing with that weird shit." But yeah, he would try to flick your balls all the time.
That's weird, man.
Which is
That's fucking weird. That's just weird. I don't know what. I don't know. I think a lot of that comes from like the lax parenthood at home where their parents just really don't. Like I seen that PSA. Did you see Michael Rappaport yesterday?
No, I didn't see it.
He put out this, I don't know if it was real, but he was putting out this PSA talking about people staying at home. And he was like, if you see my kids out there, you can drop kick them in the neck. And he's really, and I could tell that he's really talking about white folks. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, man, get your fucking parents, get your kids in the house. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You know what I'm saying? So,
it was in a supermarket, and there was this white mom with her kid in this cart, and the kid was licking the metal of the cart.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And then like was licking the metal of the cart. You know what I'm saying? And me and someone else were looking at each other like, yo, what's up with this lady? You know what I'm saying? But they do a lot of stuff like their kids would be roaming around and getting into weird stuff, picking stuff up off the floor and putting it in their mouths and stuff.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, yo, lady, you see what your kid's doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
that's
yeah,
fucking funny, man. He was licking the metal on the cart.
I Sound Info said sounds generically like jock nonsense to me. No, it's not. I'm telling you, I've seen white people do white people, white boys in frats and all this stuff. They do a lot of
thank you, T. I was just about to tell that. I think I told you guys that story about a guy that I've known this dude since middle school, and he went to college, and he played soccer or rugby or something, but he joined a fraternity. And he said that he was telling us like it was cool, like it was a cool thing. And we all looked at him like he was crazy. He said
one dude that soggy biscuit.
No. That's just another fucking level. But this dude said that they took a pitcher of beer and poured it out another dude's ass, and he was at the bottom drinking that shit. And we was looking at him like,
it's called an anal chug. It's called an anal chug. A lot of frat boys hazing, they do the anal chug. Where the water runs through another guy's ass. One homeboy I had, because I wasn't really around white dudes like that or had to live in the same space with them until college. So that's when it was real culture shock for me. I was like, what the fuck is it? Right? But one white dude who was my black friend's roommate was pledging a frat. And when they had to do a scavenger hunt, and like you said parental non-guidance, but it's more than that, because they'll give a lot of non-guidance parentally to black kids, and like we'll join a gang or something, or we'll like smoke weed, or worst case like get on crack if it's like the 80s. Like we don't just start doing tea bags to each other. But
there's levels. There's levels to how we got there. Towards these dudes, like I'm telling you, I live in Portland. Like I'm telling you, you'll go to their house and you'll be like,
Manu12 said grab ass is not the dozens. Like yeah, that's true. Like grab ass
exactly. Like you can go to their house and be like, okay, your family seems cool, you know what I'm saying? But then when they're not home, you'd be like, why are you doing this kind of shit? To whereas with black kids, even though we might join gangs, smoke crack, there's a lot of gang members that tell you I grew up in a 2-parent household. I did this shit because I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes, I don't know why they do this weird shit. And I think a lot of it has to do with movies. Remember movies like Porky's? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I mean? Those type of movies influence that kind of behavior. And I'm not the one that'll say a movie made you do something. But with white dudes, man.
But it might put the idea in your head. This guy I was talking about that was the white roommate of my friend, right? So I'd be in my friend's room. There'd be a bunch of us in the room, and the room was basically split black and white because all the black guys would be on my friend's side of the dorm room, and then his white roommate would have all his white frat boy friends. So they're pledging the frat, and one of the hazing things, let's do a scavenger hunt. And I was like, oh, why is half the stuff on the scavenger hunt homoerotic? It's weird. And one of the things was a used condom was one of the things that everyone that was pledging had to get. And then my roommate's friend sorry, my friend's roommate was like, yo, Jay, man, I'm running low on time, man. I can't get this used condom. And then the other guy, Jay, was like, yo, I got you, man. And he went to the bathroom and jerked off in the condom
And
for
gave it to him.
yeah, and came back. Here you go, dude. And then both barehanded, like the other guy takes the condom and was like, yo, thanks, bro. And then puts it in like a a Ziploc bag. I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't I mean, first of all, this is all gross to begin with, but why didn't Jay go with the Ziploc bag and then return it to you in the Ziploc bag? Why did you have to take the used
How come you couldn't
condom?
just take the L and say you couldn't find it?
Or just take 5 minutes,
Yeah. Or
what are
do
you,
it
John?
yourself.
What are you, John Holmes? It takes that long to jerk off into a
Yeah,
condom? Like,
jerk off in your own condom. Don't jerk off in
yeah,
somebody. Don't. Nah.
you're 19 years old. I'm sure that you're not like John Holmes, where you have a too much stamina problem. Hey, I've been jerking off for an hour. I can't
That's
finish. Like, get out of here.
that's weird. That's
Yeah,
that white
yeah.
boy shit.
Yeah, and we were just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this?" Because up until then, and this is why I think a lot of people who don't really, I think, live around white people or whatever, had this elevated view of them and stuff. And I remember up until then, most of my experience with white people was people that I knew in high school occasionally, but you don't really live around them. You just see them for like a couple hours a day between classes and stuff,
Yeah,
or TV. But when I actually lived around them, I was like, wow, I really knew nothing about white people, until
yeah,
college, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
No,
and
no,
then
no. That's true.
yeah, I was like, wow, all this stuff that I thought, that's when I first found out that they didn't have washcloths. I didn't realize, that's a very black thing. All across the diaspora, having taking a bath with a washcloth, that's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Washcloth
um,
is even if you use a loofah, you have washcloths in the house. I mean, but like I said, growing up out here, um, being around white people is where you first see white kids cussing their parents out. And
yeah. I was
I'm
talking
talking
about
about young kids. I ain't talking about grown
yep.
ups. I'm talking about high school, middle aged kids cussing their parents out. Mom, you're being a bitch. Like that
Yeah,
type of shit. Like that shit blew my mind.
fuck you, dad. Yeah, I first
Oh
saw that
yeah,
in college, and you know what? I recorded an episode, right? I recorded a 2 hour solo episode, and I lost the episode, but I brought that up in the episode, right? Um, when white people got Christianity versus when black people get Christianity, it's like really two different things. And I was telling
yeah,
people, right, that I noticed, right? If God is the father, right? And nature is the mother, like, mother nature, right? So it's like people use the words mother nature and God the father, right? Like God is a father. And I was like, that means two different things to a white Christian and a black Christian, because look at how white people talk to their own father and mother versus how black people talk to their father and mother. So it's like white people take religion as in like they're competing with God. That's what
yeah,
lesson from when they look at like Genesis and Adam and Eve. When white Christians see that story, the lesson from it is, God, my dad, who's like an asshole, was trying to keep me away from something,
yeah,
and I listened. I didn't listen, and I got the knowledge, and he kicked me out, like, that jerk. He kicked me out the house, but he still loves me, and I'm gonna inherit the earth anyway, because
right, right.
that's what, and I was right to do it because look at all this.
There's no real consequences.
Yeah, yeah,
I have to deal with some of the blowback, but there's no consequences.
yeah, and if I had the chance, I would do it again.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah, yeah.
I think to the average black Christian, they look at the Adam and Eve story, and it's like, wow, we should have listened to God. We could have been in paradise right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the lesson is to be like humble. But the same with nature. Like they try to beat nature. Like in a African village or whatever, they can live next to the rainforest for like thousands of years
And not
and
do
have
anything to it.
yeah, and have a homeostasis with it. Like, we feed the forest feeds us. There's a natural ecology, you know what I'm saying? And whatever happens, like the first thing the white person tries to think is, how can I get all the drugs out of the forest and patent them? And then
Yeah,
when it's picked clean, tear it down and then build condos. Like
right,
it's just, because Mother Nature is the same way to treat the mom. Like, fuck you, mom. I'm gonna talk to you any which way I want. But when you're dead, I still expect the house.
right, right. Right. That's exactly how they think. That's exactly how it works too. And then they take those
Yeah,
things for granted too. I mean, because and for black people, if a relative dies and they leave you a house, unless you're smoking crack, you know what I'm saying? The
yeah,
family's like, oh man, you can't sell the homestead. You can't sell. I've known multiple white people that have had plenty of homes because the aunt died, a grandfather died, and it was like, I don't know, I think we're gonna sell it. I don't know, da 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 da. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean so, which feeds into when people try to make it like only white people know about wealth and all that kind of shit. No, they don't. And there's so many white people that don't know shit about wealth. You know what I'm saying? It's only a
yeah.
select few of people, period, that understand wealth. So white people give away houses all the time. You know what I mean?
See, I'm not sure because I don't know because I'm looking at it from a gentrification standpoint, and one of the problems I have with gentrification, well, I think it depends on the type of white person. For example, these old Italian people, a lot of them kept their houses in like fucked up parts of Brooklyn for like a long time. Like there was a part like called Cobble Hill around here, where there's some white people who kept their houses through everything, through like the crack era and whatever, when Brooklyn wasn't that popping, even for white people, and they got paid, but so many black people, the minute gentrification started, their kids just sold the place and went to Florida and stuff. And
Yeah.
this is black family that lives on our block. And this lady, she refuses to sell. And Hasidic people come up to her like every day trying to offer her cash that she won't sell. And then this black guy in my building was like, "She's crazy. I would have been taking that money." And I was like, "Oh,
Because he ain't never had shit.
yeah, yeah, exactly. He
You
didn't
ain't
have
never
shit."
had shit. So a lot of people, this was going on before,
Y-
before gentrification. A lot of black folks, I can only speak on from the West Coast side of things, whether it be LA, wherever, specifically on the West Coast. A lot of black folks that were redlined into these certain areas, once they seen that they could go to a place that in their mind looked better. So if you grew up in Portland and you got tired of living in Northeast Portland and you were allowed to finally get a home in Lake Oswego, which is where the Blazers live, put it that way, it's where the Blazers live. You would take that opportunity. You wasn't thinking about,
Yeah,
15, 20 years from now. This started in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? When black
yeah,
people started making money. But it's the same thing in Los Angeles. So when people started seeing how beautiful things they thought they were, if I could leave Compton or Watts and go to Lancaster or Palmdale or wherever the fuck and get into a place where it seems better, I'm not thinking about where I just came from because ain't nothing good about where I just came from. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It
yeah.
might have
When you
been
don't,
good for my grandparents when they first got here, but it ain't been good for me. So when my grandparents first got here, they might have had homes and also in those neighborhoods that weren't predominantly black. So they might have had homes and things were nice, but as time went by, grandma dies, the jobs leave, and then it turns into a fucking war zone or it turns into just an underdeveloped, underfunded area. The first thing you're gonna be wanting to do is get out.
yep,
You know what I'm saying? So
yep,
that's what irritated me a little bit about when people were talking about, man, y'all need to stop leaving the hood. Y'all need to buy back the hood. Well, you gotta realize the steps into that. Buying back is a new concept. That's not
yeah,
an
yeah.
old concept. That's a new concept because a lot of people, especially in the 90s, in certain neighborhoods from Seattle, Portland, Oakland, San Francisco, people talk about San Francisco being gentrified now. Yeah, go to San Francisco 1995, Hunters Point, and the Fillmore District and the Tenderloins and certain neighborhoods, man, people trying to get the fuck out of there. East
Espe-
Oakland, places like that. You're trying to get out of there.
Especially during that crack era. That crack era was
Yeah,
something else. But like I had a girlfriend. She was Black American, and her family down south in South Carolina still had the state that they were slaves in.
yeah,
So you get both sides of the story. Like you get black,
absolutely.
yeah, but this comment by I Sound Info, like I agree with you. So Brooklyn's full of black people, so brownstones didn't keep her in their family. Yeah, I mean, there's that too. Like I think that short sightedness is but I like this comment too. Talking about the homoerotic stuff. He said, I think the part of the purpose is to humiliate and emasculate you, and ultimately to have something hanging over you as part of a connection and bonding. I think that hanging something over you thing is really true. Because did you hear about that guy David Cameron? I think it was who was uh one of his hazing things was having sex with a pig or something, and that
Nah.
came out.
Well, that's what they do with the skull and bones. They make them lay in a casket butt naked. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah,
everybody got to have a little dirt under their nails. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Well, look,
exactly.
I tell you what, we can have some dirt under our nails. How about we go rob a 7-Eleven? I'd rather do that than lay in here butt naked with a bunch of fucking men. I'll take a penitentiary chance before I do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of it is nonsense, and a lot of it, I can't speak for the white dudes, but when it comes to black fraternities, they just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
This
They just
paddle,
beat
the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Terry Hines said the first episode of Black Mirror, but that was a coincidence. Black Mirror had an episode about some guy banging a pig, but then there was a real life expose where someone ended up really banging a pig. So what started off as some kind of joke in a show ended up accidentally being true. Like someone,
Yeah.
or who knows if it was an accident? Maybe that dude who made the show heard
Maybe it was
stories
real.
from,
Yeah.
yeah,
Art
yeah,
imitating life.
yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, but no,
oh,
most fraternities, at least in the 80s, I have cousins that went to Fisk and they joined fraternity. They just beat the shit out of you. You just got the
yeah,
shit beat out of you. That
they
was
just
more or less
paddle.
anything.
They just paddle you.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Now they were doing, when I was in college, they were doing I know the alphas on campus, they couldn't beat them, or at least not in public.
Not in public,
But
you have to hide it.
yeah, they probably was beating their ass in the private of somebody's basement or something. But they were doing more endurance stuff. Like you would have to you know, do endurance things, whether it be you couldn't shower for a week, you had to, you know, stay up for 7 days in a row or some shit like that. Like it, but publicly they were saying that they don't do any more physical hazing as far as beating you down. The drumline motherfuckers, they get their ass beat. They probably still do that.
Yeah, I still believe that they have to haze you
Yeah,
because you know why? That is so ingrained in the black frats.
they're not
Like
gonna change that.
that it built character. Like because those people that got hazed the hardest when they were pledging the next line were some of the worst
Yeah.
people I heard. Like you know, like because they're like, there's no way that Al's gonna take this ass whipping and you're not gonna take this ass whipping too. Like you know,
and you know the thing about it is I get it because it's kind of like that playing sports. So if you play especially football, like in football, there's a hazing part of football that's more physical than anything, especially high school football. So if you're a younger guy, a freshman or a sophomore, and you're playing varsity or something like that, like the upperclassmen are going to make you feel it. You know what I mean? But where the frats get it wrong is because most of those dudes they're not built for that type of shit. So you're going to have a dude that die. You know what I'm saying? A dude that, you know, will write a book and tell it all. Like Spike Lee's School Days is based on information he got from a dude that was in a frat. You know what I'm saying? From Omega Psi Phi. So there's always going to be those people that really, they wasn't cut out for that. But, you know, fraternities are just like gangs. They join a frat because they need some type of belonging or something like that. You just ain't got to do no drive-bys.
No, it's true. A lot of people don't realize the degree to which it's like that. That it's like gangs. When I went to school in Buffalo, the gangs got into this big beef with the Sigmas.
Yeah.
The Sigma frat because
they roll around like a gang.
Yeah, and to them, they didn't understand. It said, okay, these dudes draw hand signs. These dudes got colors. You know, these dudes or whatever. To us, this is a gang. So the Sigmas had a party, and you know when you got strolled through the party, this local Buffalo guy who was in the gang life there, he didn't understand what the stroll line was. So when they strolled through the party during the frat line, you're supposed to get out the way, but he didn't understand that. So he's talking to this girl, and then this girl in the sorority, she shoves him out of the way. You know, lays hands on him. She doesn't realize he's like some local street dude. And then he turned around and he clocked her. He's like, "What the hell?" So then the Sigmas all, you know, jumped in and they beat him up. And then he was my friend's cousin. So the guy was like, "Yo, man, some gang by you, man, jumped me." I'm like, "Yo, what gang was it?" He goes, "I think they called the Sigmas." I'm like, "That's not a fucking gang. That's a fraternity. What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Yo, but it's on site now." So
yeah, but
the
Sigmas, they do roll around like a gang. And I've seen in an instance once where I think these dudes was Kappas or something like that. This was in a bar, and it was like real gang members in there. You know what I'm saying? With some Crips in there. And the dudes was up in there and they had on, I think they had on red. You know what I'm saying? So the gang members didn't know that they was in some frat, but the way that they was talking loud and flamed up, they looked like gang members. So somebody had to let them know, like, no, them is some college dudes. Like, and then after a while, nobody took them serious. And that's the difference. I don't know about out there, but I hear like real gangs, you're not going to see they're not going to get mixed in. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's taking the fraternity too serious.
Yeah. See, what happened with this dude, right, was these guys jumped him. So,
Yeah,
so
that's
to
where they
him,
fucked up.
so to him, not a really a gang, because it's like, okay, you guys jumped the street dude, you're wearing colors, you got, and he didn't understand like the college life.
And neither did they.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so then what happened was he told all his boys, so then all the street dudes had beef with the Sigmas, and the Sigmas were like, oh shit, what did we get with? So all around town, you know that gang graffiti where they
Yeah.
cross out, the people like, fuck a Sigma
Yeah,
killer.
yeah. That's another
Dude,
level of ignorance right there.
there was gang dudes who were tagging the shit like Sigma killer and stuff like that. So then for a whole semester, the frat didn't have like party. Like,
Yeah,
or like there would be these college parties, right? And local dudes would roll deep to the college parties, hoping to catch a Sigma because they all want
yeah,
to get revenge for this guy.
yeah.
So
That's an entire different level of ignorance.
yeah. But Buffalo's like that because Buffalo is cold, it's snowing, and
Yeah,
people are bored. People have nothing to
right.
do, so people just be robbing people for no reason. This is back in the day, and you know those new guys, West Side Gun, and those guys.
Yeah.
That's not what regular Buffalo guys look like. They don't normally talk like that. They don't look like that. Those guys are kind of savvy looking. They're kind of
Right.
like Wu-Tang Clan looking. They talk
Yep.
different. They have fashion. Like regular Buffalo guys, that's like Jason's lyric. It's just a bunch of country ass dudes waiting to get in trouble, right? So at the frat parties, the usual roll call would happen. You any alphas in the place? It was like, yeah, any this. And then when they get the Sigmas, any Sigmas? It just be dead quiet because the Sigmas didn't want to say anything because they were like
they were marked.
Yeah. So Sigmas wouldn't be wearing the colors. They wouldn't. And eventually, like somebody squashed it. Like the guy's cousin went to college, and he's like, you know, let's squash it. He was like a middle guy because he was from Buffalo, but he was also a college dude. So he kind of squashed it. But
that stuff always had me laughing. I never took him serious. Like I was cool with a lot of dudes that was alphas because of whatever, because I just knew them from being on campus. But I came from a gang lifestyle, real gang banging. So I was like, whenever I seen how they was doing all the talking and all that kind of stuff, I always thought it was hilarious because there was a guy part of their frat. He was older than everybody else. And I knew him from the street life. He's older than me. This dude's probably about 46 years old. But he was like one of those people that went to college late and he joined the fraternity. But what they didn't know, this motherfucker was a real gang member, like a real.
He's a real G.
Yeah. Like for real and on some real life shit, done some real life shit. So I would always, every now and then, I would just be looking at these dudes and I'd be like, man, y'all have no idea who the fuck you hanging out with. Like you guys are trying to perpetrate like this. And they were always, and most of these dudes are
I'm sure he was quiet about it too, right? Like
he didn't say shit. Yeah.
And, those real dudes usually don't say anything.
Yeah, if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't even know that this dude come from that lifestyle. But he was one of my OGs. But a lot of the dudes, the younger guys, they all grew up like middle class. So when you would hear them talking like they were, oh yeah, we're gonna go down to University of Oregon and they got a bunch of Kappas down there, I'd just be laughing. I'm like, man, you guys are fucking weak, dude. Like, shut up. You guys are here to go to college. Do that. Go to college, get your education, quit trying to reach into this lifestyle that you could never live and you don't want to live. Like, trust me, the dude that's an OG that's in your frat, he ain't here by accident. He don't want to be in the street life. So why are you keep trying to reach back into any type of beef you guys are going to have and fight other fraternities? And like, you guys look like fucking clowns. Like, stop doing that, man. Like, it's dumb.
But there's something else that funny that happened with Andrew Gillum, and the only reason I'm jumping to this is because both of us have to get off soon, so I didn't want to stay on too much longer. But this guy Preston Mitchum, he's this
I heard of him. I remember when he was on Twitter when I was on there. I remember him.
He's just black gay activist, but he's pretty much like gay first. He's always throwing straight black men under the bus. He was talking shit about Nipsey Hussle when he died. He was talking stuff about when that white trans person comedian died.
He was trying to blame
Dave Chappelle.
Comedian. Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Even though Dave Chappelle actually was friends with this trans comedian, and the white trans comedian actually appeared in Dave Chappelle's special and said that she liked his jokes, and she actually opened for Dave Chappelle on the road. And they were like friends and stuff. and Dave Chappelle mentioned them in their jokes as, but not in a disparaging way. But he was saying without proof, look, this trans person died. It was a white trans person. Now you see why Dave Chappelle's jokes aren't funny and what it led to. And everyone that got on him, but you never can forgive anything. But then when this Andrew Gillum thing happened, this is what he said. I'm going to put it on the screen. He put please read, review, and share with Black men. A sign letter supporting Andrew Gillum during he and his family's time of need. Please sign, and by March 26th, please sign it by March 26th, and we are accepting signatures on a rolling basis. Share with your networks, and it's like,
share what? What do what?
Basically some kind of petition. First off, this change.org generation, like these people who just think petitions will do anything. Like anything that happens now, people are always circulating dumb petitions, and it's like, okay, even if you get 1 million signatures from just random Black people, how is that going to help Andrew Gillum? Like, what's going to happen? He's going to be able to go back into politics and run and when they grill him about, hey, so what's up with you with the escorts and the crystal meth and whatever? Well, I have a signed thing by 1,000 random Black guys, like what the fuck?
First of all, we're not going under the bus for you because you got caught slipping. I'm not going under the bus. Look, this is what's going to have to happen because you did what you did. It's just like if your homie went to jail and you think he innocent, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't about to get on the stand. Like, no, motherfucker, you got caught up. Write that out. Holla at me when it's over. I got your back. You know what? I'll even put some money on your books, homie. But we're not about to do any petitions and be standing in front of the courthouse, homie. That's not how we get down.
Yeah, but also this guy asking Black men to ride for Andrew Gillum, like a couple of things. This guy never supports straight Black men when anything happens. Anything. But he's
only hopping on it because he got caught in a hotel room with some white man doing something to his booty hole. That's the only reason why he's on this crusade. If it was a straight Black man with a Black woman got caught up, he wouldn't give a fuck.
Exactly. If a straight Black man got caught with a white woman in a white escort in a hotel room, especially cheating on his Black wife, this guy would be asking for him to be crucified to the high heavens. So it's like
he probably wouldn't even recognize. He probably wouldn't even care. He probably wouldn't even. It wouldn't even be on his radar because, like you said in the beginning, well, like you said, he's gay first. So it's not even really going to be on his radar like that because
it would be on his radar because he likes bashing straight Black men. Because I'll give you an example. He's an example of something that didn't involve anything gay, but it was still on his radar. I'm going to put it on the screen, right? This right here is a tweet that he said to Terry Crews. Do you remember when Terry Crews was remember when what's her name? Gabrielle Union got fired from her show?
Yeah.
Caping for some people regarding race, and that's a whole different story. But they fired her from the show, and then Terry Crews didn't have
that tweet is hilarious.
you see it? You see it, right? And then Preston Mitchell just jumps in with both guns blazing. He goes to Terry Crews, you're actually a piece of shit. Please don't expect anyone to support you anymore. You're ungrateful, and this is why Black women and Black queer folks, like somehow he sort of queer folks into it, don't trust Black straight men. Y'all reveal who y'all are every single time. The weakest link. So that didn't even have anything to do with anything gay, but he just jumped in because there was a chance to bash.
This is a hilarious thing because for people like him,
yeah,
and people and him himself, they really do believe that check mark by their name makes them important. Nobody knows who the fuck you are, nigga. Nobody know you. My mama don't know you. My daughter don't know you. My dad don't know you. My brother, my neighbors. Nobody knows you. You're nobody. You just another bitch ass nigga on Twitter running your fucking mouth. And in the grand scheme of things, nobody knows you.
Wait, are you saying?
I don't even know what the fuck does he do for a living?
He's an influencer, basically. He's a social justice influencer.
Nobody knows you.
Yeah, but wait, are you saying he's not going to be able to save Andrew Gillum's career?
No, he's not.
No, stop it. No, you can't be serious. No. But he has a blue check. He has a blue check in signatures. He has to be able to save it. You're blowing my mind here. I can't.
That motherfucker is washed. Look, this was gonna happen to Andrew Gillum. He's gonna go away for about 3 or 4 years, and then he'll come back on some, TV, probably Ayanla Save My Life, some shit like that. He's because look, we talked about this. Andrew Gillum is playing the game. The Blue Checks are just running their fucking mouth. There is no game for them to play. He has to play the game. So the game is, I fucked up. I can't trust regular people, so I got to make sure my political constituents don't throw me under the bus and fuck me over, which they won't. They won't, because they got something hanging over his black ass head now. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna play the game. These motherfuckers are clowns, dude. That's hilarious. I can't. Can't hear you, T. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So basically, he says, I still stick by this tweet regarding his Terry Crews tweet when some people posted the hypocrisy. He goes, or do you care that he intentionally threw a black woman under the bus and later apologized for it? And then I responded, I'm the person under him, and I'm like, wait, so didn't Andrew Gillum fuck over a black woman too? Like when he was actually married to? Like using black women as human shields. But but they don't really care about black women, because if this was about black women, right? If the reason that you can go so hard on Terry Crews is because, he screwed over a black woman, Andrew Gillum screwed over a black woman he was married to, and he screwed her over.
Look, people like Preston Mitchum, they don't care about black women. They don't care about black men. They don't care about gay people. They don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves, because all of his shit is grandstanding. Like Manu12 said, Preston Mitchum sounds like 2 brands of deodorant.
Preston Mitchum sounds like some Old West character, like in a movie.
Who drinks sarsaparilla? Give me a sarsaparilla. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, no, that's for real. They don't give a look, man.
Gunfighter.
These gay lives matter dudes. They don't give a fuck about nobody. They don't care about black people. They don't even give a fuck about themselves. I'm gonna just backtrack on that. They don't even give a fuck about themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
Well, they care about their clout. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But here's something else too, right? Like, first off, like he is like Terry Crews is unforgivable because he screwed over a black woman, and by screwing her over, he just didn't have her back during her labor dispute. This guy is like risking his wife's life because I'm sure with crystal meth, like I'm sure a guy's doing crystal meth, doing.
No sound. No sound.
I don't know why this keeps losing the sound, but yeah, I'm sure that this guy is not doing crystal meth. He's not doing all this stuff, but suddenly getting responsible when it's time to put on the condoms. So it's like, what he's doing is way worse than what Terry Crews did, because he's screwing over his wife and he's risking her life. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, and his kids.
Yeah.
Physically and publicly. Shit, his wife got to walk out the door. Shit, you know what I'm saying? His kids got to go to school and deal with other kids. Say, man, I seen your daddy butt naked. You know what I'm saying? With meth in his nose or whatever, however the fuck they do it, But
and that's high risk. That is high risk. That is high risk behavior. Hotel rooms, escorts, and like I said, likely like no con. Because I'm telling you,
Marion Barry shit. At least Marion Barry wasn't butt naked. He was just smoking crack.
Yeah, but like even just being drunk and stuff, and in the heat of the moment, it's easy to not like put on a condom. I refuse to believe like doing meth, being passed out drunk, you're gonna be doing the rest of your stuff responsibly. Like it's I don't.
Well, I mean, at the
know.
end of the day, but this is the perfect storm for people like Preston Mitchum. This goes to show you that a lot of people that live that lifestyle are really into some really raggedy shit. And it makes people that live that lifestyle that aren't raggedy, it makes them look bad. You know what I'm saying?
and
Because the people like Preston Mitchum, they're into that raggedy shit. You know, he doesn't give a fuck that Andrew Gillum might be a fucking drug addict and he's an actual political figure, is a fucking drug addict. You know what I'm saying? Fuck who he was sleeping with. This motherfucker, you're dependent on him to make the best decisions for people in the state of Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's a fucking dope fiend.
But you know what's interesting? It's kind of like, you know, like a lot of times when black people, because a lot of black people have a raggedy lifestyle too, but he's the kind of person that will want to distance himself from the black people who do the raggedy stuff, because you know, it'll be about respectability politics. But but when somebody gay conforms to the gay stereotypes, he's sticking up for all that, because because this is the thing, at the end of the day, people know black people can't really do much for you as far as helping you. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to pull the Bill Cosby, pull your pants up, respect or lecture black people, or try to distance yourself and do the whole respectability thing. But this guy, at the end of the day, he's gonna need to stay on the good side of the gay community, because they're the ones who can give him jobs. They're the ones who can give him writing jobs, who can hook him up. And this is why I say that too, because when people started pointing out his double standard, they're like, wait, this guy screwed over a black woman, and you were against Terry Crews for apparently screwing over a black woman. Why are we supposed to cape for this guy? Plus, you're always trashing a straight black man. Why do you suddenly want our help now? Like, you know, you never ride for us. So why are you now that you find some use for us? You know, and when people were saying that, he was like, oh, see that? There's that black homophobia again. It's the same thing that got Terry Andrew Gillum in this mess to begin with. You know, he just went straight back to doing he couldn't even stay on straight black guys' good side long enough to even get his signatures. He had to lapse back. But notice what he didn't do. What he didn't do is this. What he didn't do was attack the white LGBT community for being the weakest links. Because think about it. How did that photo get leaked? Whose feet are in the picture? Who's taking his picture naked to begin with, what he's passed out? Like, if my boy or somebody I knew was in some kind of compromising position and I knew that he's a high profile person, even if I plan to keep the picture for myself, I'm not taking some kind of fucked up picture of him that can get out there. So it's like, who called the cops and didn't get this guy? Like, okay,
they didn't clean up the mess before the cops came. Like, that's your fall guy is supposed to do that. What the fuck?
They didn't clean up the mess before the cops came. They didn't say, hey, you're too important for this. You can't be seen here. Let's get you out of here. Let's call the cops to get you out of here. They did nothing with that. They let him be there.
Set him up.
Yeah. If they didn't set him up on purpose, they at least set him up with recklessness.
Inadvertently. Yeah. But Preston Mitchum isn't going to throw the white dude on the bus because he don't get no clout for that. He don't get shit by that.
Exactly. He's not going to say, oh, the white LGBTQ community is the weakest link.
Oh, he might get 20. He might get 20 retweets. But when he says black people, that's 1,000 retweets there. That's tangible. Exactly. That's what it's all about. Attention. How can I get the most attention? We'll throw the most vulnerable population under the bus. You know what I'm saying? But that's why. But that whole shtick is old, man. Like, it's so old. Like, it's been segregated to people like him and publications like The Root. That's it.
And people are getting tired of it. That's the thing. That's where, like, or you get less retweets. Back in the day, that would have been like 6-figure retweets. People are sick of it. People are clowning him. Even white people are catching on to it. Like, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous.
And you can't take it.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what you're saying is that all black men, even black men that don't even know this motherfucker, I know a whole lot of shit. Probably half my goddamn city don't know who Andrew Gillum is. Of black folks, they don't even know who the fuck he is. So they don't even know what happened to him. Like, if I called my brother on the phone, he was like, "Hey man, you hear about Andrew Gillum?" He gonna think I'm talking about an NBA player.
Yo, you know what's funny? Man, his wife was not funny. I mean, it's kind of sad. His wife announced that well, supposedly there's a rumor. It's not official, I don't think, but there's a rumor that supposedly his wife is leaving. And I'm like, these black ladies, they're not gonna be like Elliot Spitzer's wife or Hillary Clinton or that other guy, Anthony Weiner. Like, you know, they're like, fuck that. No, I'm not gonna stick around and be like the nice, dutiful wife in the background of the press conference. Yeah, she's like, fuck.
Nah, fuck you ain't. I ain't standing under the bus with your black ass, and I don't blame her.
Yeah, I don't blame her either. I'm giving her props.
I don't blame her. I get the fuck away from that situation quick.
Yeah, and I was really curious. I'm like, I wonder if this black lady's gonna do one of those moves. I can't
Look,
see it happening.
even if that means that she goes back into a regular civilian lifestyle and has a job working at fucking Costco or some shit, she's better off. Because the wave, the tsunami of shit that's about to fall on his head, yeah. Good luck
Yeah,
with that shit.
but it just shows how funny. I mean, it just shows how these people, their priorities are, because a lot of these black blue checks, like I think they care more about the blue check than they even care about the gayness. Like a lot of these black blue checks, I searched this guy's Preston Mitchum's history, and he's tweeting about Andrew Gillum all the time now. He wasn't even tweeting about him when he was running. That's what,
Of
like
course
think
not.
about that. This guy was running for office. You couldn't even support him for that. You couldn't even be like, yo, um, you know,
Now, at that
hey,
time, he was hating on Nipsey Hussle, so he couldn't juggle two social media beefs at the same time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He
yeah.
couldn't. He's not politically active, so he didn't even know who the fuck Andrew Gillum was. He didn't know who he was until he found out that he had a secret lifestyle. Ain't that some shit?
No, no. He knew who he was because he appeared on Fox News and he came up in conversation. On Fox News, he was on the Laura Ingraham show, but he just couldn't be bothered to tweet about him because. But you know what? It was too at the time. Andrew Gillum was still supposedly a straight black man, so he wasn't worth.
Oh, he wasn't worth the
think
time.
Yeah, yeah. So back when this guy was a straight black man, you couldn't even support him for. I don't know why this mic keeps unplugging. Yeah, but you couldn't even support him in a candidacy against a racist. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But now that he's gay, you
Oh,
can support.
now you gotta get, because race don't matter though.
Yeah, yeah. You can support a black gay guy in the most depraved of circumstances, even screwing over a black woman, more than you can support a straight black man just running for office on some regular shit. Like that says a lot. That says a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Something's weird with my mic. It keeps unplugging on its own, even though it's technically plugged in. I'm looking right at it and I have to keep resetting it. So I think it's a sign to go. But yeah, we're quarantined. We're gonna be doing a lot more live streams and we're catching up on the actual podcast too. So
Yeah.
for patrons who are worried about your podcast episodes, we're still working on those. Those are still getting sent to the editor. And we're just doing these streams to make sure that you guys still know we're alive. That Rona didn't. Yeah.
It's starting to shake itself loose a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as like New York City, man, I heard it's fucking horrible for you guys
Oh,
right
New
now.
York City is horrible, but it's all these freaking hipsters who don't give a fuck. Because Brooklyn has like 2,000 or 3,000 more, like double what even Manhattan does. And Manhattan has more people, but
Damn.
people are still going to farmers market and stuff. Like fuck your organic produce. Like stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where I live, we have 6 people confirmed that got it. Older people, a couple of them died, but still, you know what I'm saying? They still got a whole bunch of tests that they got to release to let everybody know who got it. But I think, this don't have shit to do with Trump. I'm giving the credit to the healthcare workers. My cousin is a healthcare worker up in Vancouver, Washington, where Clark County and King County up in Seattle is bad. But all the healthcare workers are putting in a lot of work. So
yeah,
talking to her, she's telling me like basically it's bad right now, but they're starting to see a trajectory where they cutting into the shit and get this shit out of the way and get the people quarantined that need it. And it's places like it's really places like Florida and down south where these motherfuckers they just ain't gonna do shit.
In Brooklyn, people are just walking around, going places, and it's like if they didn't close the bars, people would still be going to the bars, I think.
Yeah, that don't make
And
no sense, man.
and then the Hasidic people are fucking it up too because the Hasidic people are just not listening. And I live near the Hasidic people because the Hasidic people live north of me, and they're just all over the place. They're thinking that they might have to call like the police or National Guard to like actually come in and force the Hasidic people to comply.
Yeah.
They just aren't listening. They're holding their services. They're doing all their usual stuff. So they had a huge outbreak there. So yeah. So New York's number one in the country with like a third of the cases, and then Brooklyn is the top place in New York. So y'all, I'm gonna be up in here.
Man, stay in the
I'm
house, fam.
yeah, I'm staying in the house. This is gonna turn into I Am Legend in a week if they don't get their shit together. I'm just gonna be Will Smith. I'm gonna get a dog just so I can be I Am
You
Legend,
got to
man.
move to Connecticut or some shit.
I'm gonna go outside. It's gonna be coughing zombies with
Right, right.
with
That's
tote
that's
bags.
the way they make it sound like is in New York City. Like that's pretty much what it is. Like they had to bring in the like that boat, like some type of military ship with an extra 1,000 beds on it or something like that. Like
Young Stokely and Sly said Queens is pretty fucked up too. I didn't know about that. Yeah, Sly said drop another one tomorrow at 4 because that's when he clocks out. So fuck, I'm down. Drop it at 4.
yeah,
If you're around, Ken, we can do that. That'll be
yeah,
great.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad Spy said black people in Southern Queens is fine. I figured that black
Oh
folks,
yeah.
any predominantly black area is going to be fine because black folks don't play that shit. Like we don't play that not washing your hands, not washing your
Yeah.
ass. We just
We
don't
use
play that.
Yeah, we use the washcloths, like I said, and you know, like I think it makes it worse is a lot of these hipsters and upper middle class types, they've been coming up with weird scientific reasons to be less hygienic because there was this big movement for a while about taking less showers.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if people remember this stuff, but they're like, actually, that's a myth. You got to take a shower twice a day or even once a day. You're stripping away natural oils, and there's this new shower once a week movement. That's like a real movement, shit like that, and all types of crazy stuff. And we already have a natural quarantine type behavior with all that stuff.
I'm about to do a home workout and go for a run, come back and take a shower.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
like you got me twisted.
Caribbean people too are especially bad. Caribbean people are the most excessively clean people on earth. Like we do weird things like Caribbean families, like Caribbean people used to do this. And if anybody Caribbean is in the chat room, tell me if you know about this. Like a lot of Caribbean families would take tap water and boil it. I don't know if that's even scientifically useful, but when I went to college, like I was boiling tap water, and people are like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Doesn't everybody do this?" And they're like, "No."
It depends. I think it depends on where you live. If you've ever lived in a place where the water, you can't drink the water. You know what I'm saying? Like Arizona, California. Yeah. And if you can't buy bottled water, you probably do, but
but near tap water, you don't need to boil it. But like, somebody asked, I know it's supposed to go, but somebody asked, have we seen High Fidelity on Hulu? Fuck no.
No.
Hell no. I'm gonna watch that crap.
What the fuck is that?
Hell no. I'm sure they want to ask because I'm sure they want us to dunk on it, but I don't want to put myself through that just to dunk on it because I don't kind of
what is it though? I don't even know what it is.
Oh, High Fidelity. It's one of those things where they remade a popular white movie but with a black person, and they put Zoe Kravitz's tragic mulatto self into it, and she always has the worst roles. She's just like her mother and taking like the worst mulatto roles. Like, say what you will about Bill Cosby, he's a scumbag, he's a cheater, whatever you want to say about him, but he wanted Lisa Bonet to do better than that as far as with her career.
That was the whole thing. That was his whole beef with her.
Yeah, and she wanted that, white artsy acceptance, and what those like fancy white people want from your tragic mulatto self is for you to do some degrading shit, like the same way they gave tragic mulatto Halle Berry her Oscar for that Monsters Ball shit. Like they didn't give it to her for anything like good.
Disgrace yourself, nigger. Disgrace yourself.
Yeah,
and they go and do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like her mom hasn't either. She didn't learn the lesson or what, but she's letting her daughter do a lot of those same fucked up roles.
Who the hell is Lisa Bonet's parents?
I don't know who her parents are. I have no idea. I know her mother's white and her father is black. She's the opposite of Lenny Kravitz, whose mother is black and the father's white. Yeah. But this is what I didn't like about the High Fidelity. Not only because I hate when they take black shows and the black show is just a black version of the white show, even though sometimes it works. Like things like The Wiz, which is the Black Wizard of Oz, but at least that they really made it black. Like the soundtrack, everything, they made it different. But a lot of these other things, they make it basically almost exactly like the white thing because these new ones are done by black people who are basically culturally white people to begin with. So they don't really have a way to really inject black culture in it. All they can do is put black skin in it. So this is like that. This is written by white people. It's mostly white people. Her character is just a black girl now instead of a white guy. Um, and Sly quoted tragic mulatto syndrome. I just want to make sure it's clear. I didn't come up with that. That's an established term. It's an old trope. Like that's a very old term. And if you Google tragic mulatto, you'll see a lot of examples of the trope. This is a great book called Tom's Coons, Bucks and Mammies or something like that by Donald Bogle, and
Yeah.
he goes through all the tropes, and he actually has like a whole chapter. It's called Tom's Coons, Mulattoes, Mammies, and Bucks. And that book, he actually has a chapter just about tragic mulattoes and the history in film. You know, it goes back all the way to Imitation of Life. There's a tragic mulatto in that great movie, both versions. But anyway, Zoe Kravitz is in it, and you know, I'm sure she's gonna be dating these like skinny twink looking white guys in it, you know, and
Look, those dingy looking white dudes. They look all
yeah,
dingy and shit. Yeah.
like zero muscle tone. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's gonna be like that, and and they're doing it, but they're making it black in the most blavity blue check way. Like it's a very intersectional black. So they have like this woke mammy looking character in it. She's from the commercials I saw. She looks like she's supposed to be Jack Black's character, but she looks like she writes for the root. Like she has that blue check writer look. You know what? You know when you
Frederick
have
Douglass hair.
the Frederick Douglass natural, glasses, overweight.
Yeah.
Like she has that look where she looks like she would have a blue check on Twitter, you know. Oh, I'm surprised. It says she dates a white dude and a British black dude. I'm surprised with the British black dude. I don't think that. Wait, is a British black dude like her ex or something, or somebody who's bad for her, or is he like the aspirational guy? Because I can see her being with a black dude, but he's ultimately like bad for her, and then the white guy is the ultimate prize. Because then I'd be pretty surprised if she's Sly said, but that's her actual type though. That
Yeah,
is
she got
true.
married to that white dude,
Oh, I
Carl
didn't know she was married.
Glucksman.
Oh, I didn't know she was married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful girl, just like her mother. But
He's from the Bronx, but he looks dingy.
yeah. B Scott said, I kind of like that look. What's the problem? The look used to be okay when it was like pro black women wearing naturals. The same way a lot of them have that Erica Badu look, but they've kind of ruined it because they've taken that pro black or Afrocentric look and added like a septum ring. The main difference is they'll have like a video game or a comic blur t-shirt added to the mix, and that will fuck it up. But this is what really ruined me with that show. I saw like a clip of it, and they're talking about problematic people, right? And if you can have and if you can still listen to music that's problematic, which is not what the first one is like. The first one is about a bunch of white dudes who like going to a record store,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And they're like music snobs, right? And a friend of mine is actually, this is crazy. A friend of mine, Alex Desert, I grew up with him. He's the black guy in the original scene. My friend is in the original scene that they remade, but there's a scene in my friends in High Fidelity, the original one, where he's in the movie and he's the one of the only black guys in High Fidelity, and they're talking about different music they like and everything, right? And in the remade version with Zoe Kravitz, now they're in there, but now it's social justice influencer shit, so SJW and woke stuff, and they're talking about, hey, can you still listen to music if it's problematic, right? And their example is Michael Jackson being a molester, which is not proven. The FBI did a full investigation on it and stuff, and I'm not even gonna sit here and say I know without a shadow of a doubt that Michael Jackson never diddled any kids. What I'm saying is there is no proof of it at all, and the people who you're relying on to make this case that you're celebrating are notorious liars.
Yeah, they're known for
Like,
lying.
yeah, if you're gonna bring some people who are like reliable as witnesses, or if you're gonna bring you some real evidence, then by all means, bring it up. But whatever, they use Michael Jackson as an example. I found out later, like some white women created the show, right? So of course, but this is what happens. The scene immediately after that, where they say, "Oh, you can't listen to Michael Jackson because he's a pedophile or whatever and stuff." All this fucked up shit, right? When there's tons of evidence against those people who accused them, and all this stuff that shows that no proof was ever found against them. The very next scene, she's wearing a David Bowie shirt. David Bowie, who was known to have had sex with his wife with multiple like 15 and 16-year-olds,
Yeah.
knowingly, like uh freaking
This is public
pedophile.
knowledge.
Public knowledge, like proven witnesses, all this stuff. She wears a David Bowie because the white ladies who write that show, they like David Bowie and he's white.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, so
They don't care about that because the white women that wrote that show and that story, if they were 15 and 16, they would sleep with David Bowie. So it's not a big deal to them.
exactly, and still be proud of it today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on top of that, they know that a lot of the people who are giving them props, because a lot of these woke publications gave them props for taking down Michael Jackson, who's dead
Yeah.
and can't defend himself anyway. But a lot of these people, if they took down David Bowie, a lot of those same people would have problems with them. And
yeah.
the people who they want to impress, a lot of these music writers, a lot of these people, because there's a lot of stories that have come out saying, like I'll give an example. I'm gonna show you an example. Look at this. Look at this. This story came out, but look at the headline.
Complicated.
Yeah, the complicated sexual history of David Bowie. Like when this stuff came out, they couldn't deny it anymore. There was a whole bunch of stuff like, what do we do with David Bowie? What how do we reconcile? Like none of the same language of throw him out, burn, and this is like proof stuff. Like the Michael Jackson stuff is like the flimsiest stuff, and people are appearing on don't even get me started. But there's a lot of stories like that, and people are pulling up examples because a lot of people who were defending the show and defending this stuff, people are pulling up their past tweets and they were defending David Bowie. One lady, I think her name was Evan Rachel Wood, whoever the lady on Westworld is. She was going in against Kobe Bryant and stuff and calling him a rapist and stuff like that. And then they pulled up her tweets when David Bowie died. She's like, "Oh my God, David Bowie's dead." you know, and she was making excuses for it. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, someone said High Fidelity is basically in the same vein as Blackish, Grownish, Mixedish. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, like that new girl Zara Sahidi or whatever, beautiful girl too. If they had a chance, they are dying to make her into the next Halle Berry and Zoe Kravitz. Like, I'm sure she has a lot of gutter sex roles coming at her, but so far, so far she's avoided that trap, and more power to her. I hope she has good people in her corner who don't let her take,
don't take the bait.
Yeah, don't take those type of roles. They never springboard you into anything better. Like I feel like because even Halle Berry after Monsters Ball, I feel like her career was never that good after that.
I can't think of anything she's been in since then.
Yeah, I mean she's been in some stuff, but nothing is memorable. Somebody asked, any thoughts on Random Acts of Flyness? I tried to watch it. It's on HBO. I don't think you ever seen it, Ken.
No, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's one of these shows. You could tell the kind of people who like slave play, like those kind of white people. It's a black show, I think, that really appeals to them, and it appeals to other black creatives like that, like the kind of black people who clamor to go to blackout night of slave play.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great. And I guess one of my problems with it, one of the first episodes I saw, the guy has like a big natural afro. There's a lot of people with septum rings. There's a lot of like, it looks like my neighborhood in a way. A lot of these
it looks like your neighborhood.
Yeah, because all the old black people have been gentrified out, and the new ones coming in kind of all look like they're right for the root and stuff.
Right.
And a lot of septum rings and Arrested Development. It's like Arrested Development, but with some nerd stuff thrown in, like maybe a Spider-Man shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And when it's like that, but when I was watching it, in the middle of it, they have like a segment, and it's all about being asexual, bisexual, non-binary, all this stuff. And then the thing that's kind of annoying me was that it was called Random Acts of Flyness, and it was starting with police brutality, and
It's an SJW show.
well, yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's kind of portraying stuff as a black show, but I'm like, okay, if you're going to be a black show, be
So
a black
Hollywood
show.
being black in Hollywood these days is all of that. There
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
look, there ain't gonna be any more Boys in the Hood movies. There ain't gonna be any more Juice. There ain't gonna be any of those movies, those coming
Yeah.
of age black movies. They're over. You're never
Like,
gonna get another one.
yeah, because this is my thing, right? It's supposed to be a black thing, but I guess it's social justice. So they have to exclude every single other category. Like I only saw like one episode, but I'm sure if I kept watching, they would touch on climate change. Because like
Oh yeah.
being black is not good enough anymore. You have to kind of couple black with something else all the time. Black and queer, black and feminist, black
Yep.
and this, black and Caribbean. You know, like play up the immigrant angle. You gotta do something, but you can just do anything black. But if it was called Random Acts of Queerness, I'm sure they wouldn't be trying to shoehorn black issues
Yeah.
every episode, because the queer crowd would be like, what are you doing? Is this supposed to be a gay show? Like, you know,
Mhm.
when they bring back the L word, or they bring back you know, queer ass folk, um gay people wouldn't like it if there was a police brutality and gay racism uh
Mm-mm.
lesson in every episode, you know. So it's
No.
like,
No.
if you're Random Acts of Flyness and you sound like, you know, that someone said the White Savior movie episode of Random Acts of Flyness is good, maybe I'll try that, you know. If you could tell me what number episode that was. The show wasn't bad, it was just a little scattered and uneven to me, and the good stuff wasn't frequent enough for me to sit through the bad stuff, and I got especially annoyed by things that had nothing to do with being black, but you're trying to pretend that they're black issues. You know, someone called it's an all lives matter show. Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of. Um, all right, but thanks, Ken. Gonna get back to work.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's see if we can do it again tomorrow. Thanks, Terry Hines, B Scott, I Sound Info, SD Fly, um, Young Stokely, Matthew Leahy, K-Cast, anyone else I might be forgetting. Thanks all of y'all, LaRon, Barton. Everybody be good, and we'll try to come back tomorrow around 4. All right?
All right,
Take care,
holla.
man. Later.